The truth is finally here. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Gun PDR Training. I'm Marty Runick, and today we're going to do a quick and dirty video with an iPhone by a student that was self-taught and learned a bit by video and decided to start over again from the beginning. And this deep shot on a 2011 Prius doors on his brother's car, so he's going to try to make his brother happy. And we got a good sized roll buckle between here and there. And we've also got a standard convex rolled outward area above the body line, but below the body line we have a concave or dished or rolled inward area. And these generally require a little different repair technique. Since we do have a concave to convex body transition, we're not going to be able to work that roll buckle into that body line unless we put some pressure on that impact point with our glue, and we're going to use a K-bar to do this. Now keep in mind there's only about 40 pounds at the most pressure on that tab, that glue tab that's pulling on the body line. All we're doing is just putting enough of force on that impact point to help us to roll that buckle again into the body line. That's very important. We just don't want to yank on that impact point like you see just about every other tech doing. That's going to make our finishing go a lot slower. We want to wash that energy from that buckle into that body line. Let me get that off first. And ask any questions, guys, all right? So, what we said a lot of people would do here is they would either slam that up with a slide hammer or something, try to get that up, or they would bang that out first. It's always best if you can put about 30-40 pounds on that, and then while you're doing that, then you roll that buckle back into the body line. So in other words, we didn't hit that buckle only to get it to roll. We didn't hit that buckle just to get it down. We wanted to roll that buckle into the body line, and we used that pressure on that to help us do that. That's all. So that pressure on that K-bar was not to move that, even though we did. That pressure was on there to help that buckle move back into the body line. And now we shouldn't have almost any I doubt we even got to have a body line hinge there anymore. You release the pressure in the right sequence, you're going to get rewarded for this because you're going to get a very fast, clean repair now. See, where if he tried to pull that up just for the sake of pulling it up, you'd have still had that buckle, a lot of it would have released, or it would look like it released. But if you got back, you just saw a lot more waves in this area, and you don't see those now.
So pretty much, when you're putting pressure over here, it's to kind of show the direction of where. Correct.
So we used the pressure up from that K-bar to help direct that into the body line. That's all. That's all. It was not meant to. I mean, it did move it obviously, but that's not why we did it. We did it to help that pressure buckle move into that body line. Okay. And now all this down here is looking pretty good. Whereas had we just started hitting things and banging things around, you'd start seeing waves there now, and we don't see those anymore. In fact, a lot of the waves there, look, they're not even there anymore because we did it in the right sequence, right? And that's all important, guys. Now, you said a complex dent repair like this would take, 3-4 hours. No, guys, 45 minutes if you do everything correctly and have some experience. But yeah, if you start banging and just all you're concerned about is moving metal, you could be there a couple hours or longer, maybe a lot longer.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna take way longer to at least move that. That was crazy with that bar.
Okay, so what's your next step gonna be? All right, a quick glue pull on that impact point. Definitely got stuck on it, didn't it? And we got quite a bit of it out. And we got too much of it out, actually. We got a sharp impact point, and it looks like we have some shoulders there that we will have to knock out first. Okay, now we're going to get some of the bottom of that up first before we go in there with a sharp tip tool and gather that impact point. I want to release a little more metal around that stretch metal. So he's doing that with a flat bar. Okay, now we're ready to go in there with a very sharp door tool, gather up that stretch metal at the bottom of that impact point. And we're going to be here for a while, so we'll speed up the film. All right, we were about done using our super sharp door tool. We got almost all that impact point nice and gathered up. And we have about 80% of our dent repaired. We don't have any residual horizontal pressure below the body line. We checked. And of course that small body line dent near the handle is not part of its damage, but we'll get that later. We do have a little bit above the body line, so we're going to address that next. And guys, if any of these terms are unfamiliar to you, you need to watch some of the theory videos we got up there on large dent repair. It'll educate you as to what we mean by some of these old school metalworking terms. Right now our biggest problem is a very wide, about an inch, inch and a half, very soft vertical high. You can barely feel it. And we're going to take that down with our wooden slapper again. And he's going to work from top to bottom. And he put those little crayon marks there to help guide him so he doesn't, sometimes for when you're starting out, it's easy to get lost here. About an inch and, well, maybe an inch wide actually, not an inch and a half. So he's taking those out with a wooden stir stick, the slapper. And you can notice that when he's done, his lows are going to be quite a bit less apparent. Just by taking that soft little mound that most people would leave, it's going to make those lows come quite a bit out. You can already see it in the reflection. So by taking that vertical mound out, the horizontal lows are relaxing. Now some of you old timers, if there's any of you left, may be asking, why is he holding a slapper, wooden or metal like that? That's ridiculous. Well, we got light gauge metal today, fellas, and if you hold the slapper by the tail of it instead of doing what he's doing there right at the start, you're going to probably make some damage in your panel. Why he's putting his fingers like that and holding the slapper so close to where he's hitting, trying to get the feel for that slapper's hitting just where it wants to, level with the panel. You can actually feel it in your fingertips rocking. You know, when you've done this for a while, you can feel it actually get the tail into the slapper, but when you're starting out, that's a lot to expect from someone that's just learning these things. So you start there, and eventually you get comfortable with holding the slapper at the tail instead of the head. So what happened, dude?
It's crazy how all the lows came out, almost all of them.
Yeah. So now just think about all those lows that you were going to get out with a tool that you don't have to get out anymore because you did this in the right sequence. A lot of your lows disappeared, and the ones that are left are a lot less deep. And you just made yourself a lot of money because you saved yourself a lot of time. Now let's see what the reflection shows us here. Yeah, you want to buff that out a little bit, but yeah, look at all the lows you saved, all that work. Getting those little, just by taking that buckle out that you barely even saw. So highs first and then your lows, right?
Always.
Okay, now he's releasing some small vertical pressure traps that are right around. Very couple soft little lows that were left. Most of them went away. And once again, you don't need expensive tools to do quality work. You can do amazing work with just a wooden stir stick. All right, he's going to put a quick buff on it. Look at that boy fly. Slow down a little bit there, Pablo. Come on.
I will.
Looking pretty good there, dude. Not too bad for a 2-week tech. Of course, you had a little bit of experience before you came here, so. Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited. I made a book.
William is going to do that other body line dent next to the door handle, and he's going to demonstrate a little trick for us. On doors like this, where you got quite a distance between the glass and your body line, you can't really put enough curve in that flat bar to get on the body line because you can't clear the upper brace. So what we do is we use a window wedge in back of the flat bar, and that helps us to get our leverage point far closer to the tip, but we don't have to put as much curve on that flat bar, and we can get it past that upper window brace and no problem. Remember, everybody, it's usually leverage that beats us, so you got to think out of the box. And as always, if you learned something from this video, don't forget to tell other auto body PDR techs about us and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.